Chronicles of Crime 1400, as part of the Millennium series, is coming out shortly, and there couldn't be a better time to check out this amazing detective series. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the BattleCast. Now, I've actually done a Kickstarter preview for the Chronicles of Crime. I talk specifically about 1400, and I actually have a playthrough of the first scenario. So this is going to kind of be a recap now that I've actually played my way through the whole campaign of 1400, and I wanted to kind of update you as my thoughts have evolved. Now, as you may have found out from the intro, this is a great time to play Chronicles of Crime, and that is for a number of reasons. Firstly, I think that Lucky Duck Games has learned a lot since they originally launched Chronicles of Crime. I think that they've updated their systems, and I think they've wrapped their head around what scenarios are good and which ones were less good, and they've really done a good job of kind of tuning things up. They're in the zone of creativity, and that's very true here in 1400. Also, the setting is great. Not everyone likes modern crime solving, enhance, or DNA test, right? Like sometimes the old school method is the best method. So I like that 1400 is here because it is very different than all the other series prior. The setting is wonderful. It's a simpler time. On the whole, I think that Chronicles of Crime 1400 does a couple things really well. First and foremost being the story. What's cool about the 1400 series is that it actually has a congruent story throughout the whole thing. It's not, major per se, but you're going to see characters that you saw in episodes prior. They're going to allude to things that may have happened because there's choice in this game. Did you help so-and-so or did you help the other person? I won't get, too spoily or anything. And that story progresses alongside or in the background of some of the crimes that you're solving. So I thought that was kind of cool, especially because the other Chronicles of Crime just kind of were like instances in time where you're solving crime. Well, there's much more flow here. The other thing that I think it does well, and this has a couple parts to it, is accessibility. There's a reason I'm saying this is the best Chronicles of Crime game to jump into, and that is first and foremost the vision cards. Okay, you are a Lavalier, and you have this kind of weird ability to have visions about a crime that has occurred or is going to occur, and they come in the form of these vision cards. Now, when you buy Chronicles of Crime, there are vision cards specific to each mission, and you lay them out before you when you start playing. And these are wonderfully helpful because they give you a arc of the story. They help alert you to things that are important. Maybe you run into a character and you're like, oh, the maid doesn't seem that important. And then you look at a vision card and you're like, look, the maid's in my vision and she's handling a book. Well, maybe if I see a book, I'm going to be a little more suspicious about it. So it is a bit hand-holdy. If you like really hard crime games, you might be like, oh man, and maybe you don't use the vision cards then, but they make it easier and a lot easier. And that's kind of nice, honestly, because nothing's worse than just kind of hitting a dead end and just having no idea what you're doing, and then you're just scanning random things. This is very helpful. The second thing is the setting. I've kind of alluded to this, but it's a simpler time. There's no more like, so-and-so received a threatening email from, the Reddit page where they were a big whatever, right? Like, it's much simpler. The clergy felt threatened by the government, so they whatever. Like, it's a simpler time. Motives are much more straightforward. So-and-so wanted money. So-and-so wanted land, or whatever it is. So that's kind of nice. That makes things a bit easier to wrap your head around. Another really interesting aspect is the dog that you have. You have a dog companion. And the dog is really cool because he is with you all the time. Now, in the old game, you would have to, in some games, you'd have to go home. You'd have to go to somewhere. But here, the dog's with you at all the time. So you can be like, hey dog, smell this thing. And the dog will be like, aha, I picked up a scent, and actually take you to the location where the person associated with that item is. Or the dog can help you pair things together, track blood trails. It's nice having him there. He's very helpful, so I thought that was very cool. And the last thing that really helps with accessibility is the a little bit more leeway that they give to cards in this game, clue cards. In the old Chronicles of Crime game, you look at the scene, so you pick up your phone and you look around the 3D scene, which is really great. Now, if for example you saw some papers on the ground and you took the paper clue card and you scanned it, in the old game it may say, "No papers here." And you're like, well, I thought they looked like papers. But they were letters. They were letters. So, if you didn't grab the letter card, you may have missed that clue. In this game, they've done a great job of associating clues. So if you scanned papers, it would say, "These look like letters. Scan the letter clue for more information." Thank you. Thank you. That is a big deal to me, because the number of times you kind of miss a case because maybe you misinterpret, or you and the designer weren't on the same page for what a clue looked like or was. It happened a lot, I found. Here it's way better. You scan something, it's going to tell you what you should scan. That makes a big difference. And the last thing is just the general flow of the missions. The missions are interesting. They seem to flow well. They wrap up nicely. Sometimes I would play Chronicles of Crime games and I'd be like, that mission was all right. I liked all these missions. They seem to be well thought out, so I like that. The app seems to be running well. It's less laggy for me. I don't know if that's because my phone is newer or what, but it does seem to work well. The music is nice. Overall, great on the app side. The one thing I haven't really been able to get an answer for is how expansions will be handled with this game. Because of the addition of the physical vision cards, it's not like they can just throw an expansion because there are physical cards that come with it. Now, I suspect what they'll do is they'll introduce a vision button, and you'll push the button and that will open up vision cards on your screen, probably. Or maybe they will release physical new editions for 1400, but I suspect it would be the app version. So those are the things about 1400. I've played it, love it. I think it's probably the best one I've played yet. For all of these reasons, I like the time period. I'm also very interested in 2400, ironically. I think that it's well worth playing. It's not very expensive, this game. If you've been wanting to play Chronicles of Crime, hands down, this is the place to start. And the art's great. I think the art is wonderful in 1400. I think it's less overtly cartoony as compared to the regular Chronicles of Crime. I think it has more of a oil painting feel to it and acquired a fine taste. Very good. Definitely check this one out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider supporting the channel by liking this video or subscribing to the channel, and especially hitting that bell icon. Feel free to leave comments in the comments section below. I love talking with you guys. Until next video, I'll see you then. Thanks.